stuff like that kind of streamline the process. The one thing about rescue time, it doesn't really log projects. So yeah, it's gonna say you spent X amount of time on Photoshop, but I work on, let's say, 3 projects at the same time in Photoshop. It's not gonna say, oh, you worked on this project and this project. So what I use then is another great tool called Toggle. And Toggle is basically a stopwatch. So this is very recent. This was in February. What it does, it just kind of comes up. It has a web browser, but basically the downloaded one that you get on your desktop looks like this. You just type in what you're working on, and you obviously have to take action, so you have to press play and stop. But for example, like I wanted to see how long an e-blast would take me, so I just typed in brown e-blast, press play, worked on it. Whenever I was finished, I press stop, and that will also later on. And this is not my results. This is something that I took from the internet, but it will provide you with like a report of how much time you spent on each project per day. Now, how that helped me, or how that will help like the design team, is for us it's really, really crucial to know how long an e-blast takes, how long a layout article takes, because we need to, what we want to do is I want to spend as little time on that, because that's low value and that doesn't bring me a lot of creativity, and I want to spend more time in creating and developing products. So yeah, that's that. Nope, go back. So tip 3 is just to track your projects. Another thing that I discovered when I used rescue time is a lot of my wasted time went to trying to find information, trying to find what a client said, what was the last amendment I needed to make, like they wanted to change a font, whatever that was. It was just like trying to find, and it was honestly being disorganized at one point, but I'm sure we all kind of like, oh, where is that email that somebody sent me? So how I track my projects, again, going back to Notion, I showed you this board previously, and basically when you click on one of these like subboards, you will get a board that looks like this. And here you can basically log everything. You can log PDFs and links and email addresses. You can link to stuff on your desktop. This was like an impact report that we worked on. We actually just finalized that, but we started working on it last year. And yeah, we were, whatever when I was on the phone, I just took the notes here. This is what we needed. Where is the project now? What was the last comment that was said? Again, reiterating, this is something that we started, I think, when did we have this conversation, really? Like really, like autumn, like October, and it just finished now. So when Stacey came to me, I'm like, let me think about it. I don't even know where we left that off, because that was like 3 months ago, and instead of like just going into my emails, I just had everything there. So just like logging everything is crucial. Another way this would be when I was doing the A Moment with videos with Joe. Obviously we didn't do them all in a chunk, so he used to just have me like videos here and there, just having like a little checklist, knowing what I sent to him, who was doing a video, who was not doing a video, which video was editing, like what stage that was. It was just easy, instead of like going back and forth, like, oh, did you get that video? Like, and that's also wasted time, just again, emailing nonsense, non-value stuff, that we want to eliminate that. So again, keeping organized and structured is key. And this would be something for the sales team. Basically just another way of organizing the board. Really the possibilities are endless. There's just so many different ways you can structure it. Yeah, the key takeaways. So yeah, just keep a to-do list that prioritizes value rather than tasks. I think in this kind of like modern world, like being busy is something, oh, it's very prestigeful, and like we want to be busy, but being busy without actually bringing any value, it's just nonsense. So you want to make sure that whatever you do brings value to the business, and most importantly brings value to yourself. Measure everything that you do. Make sure to know how much certain tasks take you, because when you know how much something takes, you can evaluate, reflect, and then refine and define. And then my favorite thing of all time, and Sen knows this. I'm extremely diligent when it comes to deadlines and extremes. So Parkinson's law. Parkinson was a journalist, and he published this essay in The Economist in 1955, I believe. And basically, one of the sentences is, tasks expand to fill the time given to them. So we're all, like, we know Elon Musk is really, like, when it comes to setting deadlines, he's like, yeah, we're going to go to the moon in like 5 years. And everybody's like, it's going to take 20. He was like, no, we're going to set it to like 5 years, and we're going to, shoot this rocket up in 2 years. And what happens with his engineer team is, like, everybody's working on that deadline, and they might actually, overthrow it by a year or two, but at least, they are better than, like, if they've set it at 10 years, because at 10 years they would probably overshoot it by 2 years. So actually making sure that whenever you set a deadline, challenge yourself. If something takes, let's say we're doing an e-blast or an article, if we're used to it taking like 2 weeks from like first to last, let's push that and see if we can kind of squeeze our time and making sure that, like, we are challenging ourselves, because we can do better and we can be more effective. And yeah, to kind of end on a little cheesy note, I truly hope that, like, we're all sitting here obviously because we love what we do. Hopefully, I know I do. I come to work with. I can't sometimes believe that I get to do what I do, because I truly do enjoy it and I love being here. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure that my time goes to things that I love to do, which is creating and developing new ideas and being critical to what we're doing and trying to change it. And I want to keep as little time to other minor tasks that aren't necessary, because every job has things that we love, and then things, it's kind of like traveling. We all love staying at the beach and surfing and exploring, but we all hate packing and checking in and all the other stuff that we have to do to get to our travels. So it's the same thing with work. There are certain things that we have to do, and making sure that we are as effective when it comes to that, so we can actually focus on what we want to do. Because if we focus on what we love and our passion, what makes us tick, that makes us go the extra mile, that makes us think about other stuff, that makes us innovate, and that not only, like, brings the company forward, but it also brings, like, purpose and value to ourselves as individuals. So yeah, just making sure that you give yourself